right, our final body system is the immune system, and we're going to start on page 504. That's where the immune system starts. There's a nice little picture here of a parasitic worm. It says it can enter your body through a bite from a mosquito and cause disease, but fortunately your body has special cells that can destroy disease-causing agents such as this worm. Here you see a microscopic view of a white blood cell called a macrophage that is actually attacking this parasitic worm. So that's pretty cool looking. That would be in your blood. Probably not cool to have a worm in your blood, but anyways. On to page 505. You're going to answer questions 1, 2, and 3. You don't have to do the vocab. Question 1, you're going to write incomplete sentence. What happens when your computer gets a virus? Okay, so you've heard of a computer virus. What happens to it? And that just kind of gets you to thinking that the word virus is sometimes used for computers, and it's also used in talking about humans' health. On predict, you're going to check either T or F, true or false, whether you think each statement is true or false. So your body has cells that can help fight against disease. Most microscopic organisms are harmless. Skin can protect against infection. Fever is always harmful to the body. So just check what you think right now before we start the lesson. And then number 3, you can often define an unknown word if you know the meaning of its word parts. You're going to use the word parts and the sentence below to make an educated guess about the meaning of the word pathogen. Patho means disease and gen means to bring forth. Your example sentence is, your body is constantly protecting itself against pathogens. So write down what you think a pathogen is, what you think the meaning of pathogen is. On to the next page. What is your body's defense system? Microscopic organisms and particles such as bacteria and viruses are all around you. Most of them are harmless, but some can make you sick. A pathogen is an organism, a virus, or a protein that causes disease. Fortunately for you, your body has many ways to protect you from these pathogens. You have something called external defenses. That means they're on the outside. Another body system that's in the immune system is your integumentary system. So it's a whole system in itself, and it includes your skin. Your skin actually provides this external protection against pathogens that would try to enter your body. It has some structures like hair and nails and sweat and oil glands that help to provide that protection. It says, for example, the glands in your skin secrete oil that can kill the pathogens. There's mucus produced by mucous membranes in your nose and saliva in your mouth that actually wash away pathogens into your stomach. And we know there's stomach acid inside your stomach, so those are quickly digested. Hair, such as your eyelashes, there's hair in your ears, some of us more than others. Those keep particles in the air from entering your body, like dust and different things. Your nails are going to protect your fingertips and your toes. And your skin, with all of these structures, make up your integumentary system. And I want you to add that your skin is the largest organ in your body. It's actually around your body, but it is your largest organ. Next largest would be your lungs. So looking at page 506, you're going to answer the question. It says, why is it important to clean and care for cuts on your skin? And then also question 5, which says, how might watery eyes be a defensive response? Okay, so that's all the external. And then we're going on to page 507. We talk about internal. So external means on the outside, internal means on the inside. So what do we have on the inside that's going to help us? It says most of the time pathogens can't get past the external defenses, but sometimes skin is cut and pathogens can enter the body. Your body responds quickly to keep out as many pathogens as possible. Blood flow increases to an injured area, causing it to swell and turn red. This swelling or redness is called inflammation. So the swelling and redness is called inflammation. Cell pieces in the blood called platelets help to seal the open wound so that no more pathogens can enter. We talked about platelets already when we talked about the circulatory system, and we said they help to form clots. Your body may also respond by raising your body temperature. We call that a fever. It slows the growth of bacteria and some other pathogens. So both inflammation and fever are part of your internal defenses. If the pathogen is not destroyed by the inflammation and the fever, then the immune system is going to respond. Your immune system is made up of tissues and specialized white blood cells that recognize and attack foreign substances in your body. These white blood cells function in a coordinated way to identify and destroy pathogens. So, number 7, external defenses. Make a summary or list some of those external defenses, and then list the 2 internal defenses that you have. You do not have to do the math on question number 8. You can get rid of that. It's just showing you the difference between Celsius and Fahrenheit. So we're not going to mess with that today. On to the next page. As you read, underline the characteristics of an antigen. White blood cells destroy invading pathogens. Unlike red blood cells, the white blood cells can move out of the blood vessels and patrol all the tissues of the body. Some of these cells attack pathogens directly. Macrophages are white blood cells that destroy pathogens by engulfing, that means to surround it, and then after it surrounds it, it digests it. A macrophage helps start the body's immune system in response to antigens. An antigen is a substance that stimulates a response by the immune system. An antigen can be a pathogen. It could also be a foreign material in your body, like when you get a splinter in your finger and it starts to be inflamed and that area becomes tender, it becomes kind of hot, and you start to have some pus that forms to help get that splinter out of your finger. The pus is actually dead blood cells, dead white blood cells that are trying to get rid of that foreign body. The immune system consists mainly of T cells and B cells. So T cells coordinate the body's immune response while others attack the infected cells. They're known as helper T cells. They activate other T cells, and then you've got killer T cells that actually attack the infected body cells by attaching to specific antigens. Helper T cells also activate your B cells. Once those B cells are activated, they actually make the antibodies that attach to specific antigens. An antibody is a specialized protein that binds to a specific antigen to tag it for destruction. In the pictures below, you're going to see they want to know the main function or task of each white blood cell. So the macrophage, nicknamed the destroyer, what does it do? The T cell, nicknamed the activator and attacker, what does it do? And the B cell, nicknamed the responder, what does it do? You're going to fill those in. And then I love this graphic of the immune response. Let's see if I can get it all in there. There you go. So it says trace the path of the B cell response using a solid line, and then trace the path of the T cell response using a dashed line. Okay? So when we look at, starting right here, a virus that enters the body may be destroyed by macrophages, or the virus may get through the infected, to infect a body cell. So here's our virus, and here's a viral antigen, and then it shows macrophages engulf the virus particles and show the viral antigen. These macrophages activate the helper T cells. The helper T cells recognize the viral antigen on the macrophage. The helper T cells trigger two responses. Those two responses are the T cell response and the B cell response. So here we've got two different parts. The B cell response, helper T cells activate the B cells, make and release antibodies that recognize the shape of the viral antigen. And then you keep going, antibodies bind to the viral antigen, forming clumps that tags the virus for destruction, and the antibody shape is specialized to match an antigen like a key fits a lock. Okay, it's kind of like the receptor cells we talked about. T cell response, you've got the virus. Helper T cells are going to be activated, and then you've got killer T cells. The killer T cells recognize the viral antigen on the infected body cells. The killer T cell is the one that destroys the infected cells and causes the cell to release the virus particles. So how do T cells differ? How are they different from B cells? You'll answer that one. And then do your solid line and your dotted line. And then we go on to talk about immunity. You do not have to do question 13. The body builds immunity against disease when it's exposed to the pathogen that causes the disease. Immunity is the ability to resist or recover from an infectious disease. Okay? Immunity is passed from a mother to her fetus. It can also be the result of the body being infected with the disease, or even if the body is vaccinated. We'll talk a little bit more about vaccinations in just a sec. So, producing memory cells. Your body produces millions of different kinds of T cells and B cells. However, it doesn't produce very many of each kind for specific pathogens. But once your body has fought that pathogen, your body produces something called memory cells. Memory cells are T cells and B cells that remember a specific pathogen, and then once they're activated, they can make those antibodies in large numbers, and they can make T cells and B cells in large numbers so that you can quickly fight off whatever it is that's affecting you. A vaccine is a substance prepared from killed or weakened pathogens, and it's deliberately introduced into your body so that your body can fight off the little bit of infection and get some antibodies made. That way it never gets totally sick. It doesn't totally affect your whole body. It just builds up your immunity a little at a time. The vaccine stimulates the body to make an immune response. The B cells will make antibodies to attack that specific pathogen that was in the vaccination. So in that way, it helps to prevent illness from some diseases. Not all diseases have a vaccine available. Here is more detailed about how vaccines work. Question 14 says, how are vaccines related to memory cells? Next page. Some of the things that can change your immune system, and you're going to read and answer the questions, and then you're also going to do the questions on 512 and 513, and then that will be all of the reading. We'll do the notes in a separate video. Okay, so I changed my mind. I'm not going to make a separate video, but here are the notes. You can pause this so that you can fill them in. All of this came straight from your textbook, so you can fill those in. When you're finished, you can cut and paste this to the next page, which I think is 37.